Members of the Presidency, authorities, distinguished guests, I'm extremely grateful to receive the 2012 BBVA Foundation Frontiers of Knowledge Award in Biomedicine. This is a deep honor that is amplified by the luminous science of the previous winners, the distinction of the great members of the selection committee, and the great esteem receiving a BBVA prize bestows on its recipients after only a 5-year history. I'm also pleased that the committee saw fit to recognize advances in obesity research. The conventional view, as you heard on the part of many, is that the obese are responsible for this condition. I'm proud to be part of a dynamic and fast-moving field that offers the alternative view that body weight is controlled by a powerful biologic system that regulates weight by changing the activity of a neural circuit that robustly regulates the basic drive to eat. This neural pathway functions in all mammals, and differences in its activity explain to a large extent why some people are thin and others obese. Defects in the genes that comprise this biological system cause obesity in humans, and this includes the leptin gene, which, based on pioneering work by my co-recipient and friend Doug Coleman, led to the discovery of the leptin gene by my laboratory many years later. As you heard, leptin is a hormonal signal made by fat tissue that is secreted into the blood and that in turn regulates this neural circuit that controls appetite. A mutation in the leptin gene can cause massive human obesity, and this can be effectively treated by administering leptin made in the laboratory. Recent evidence further suggests that leptin can be used to treat other human conditions, including several forms of diabetes, and further suggests that in time, leptin could be part of a combination treatment for obesity. The identification of leptin and the neural circuit it controls is changing the perception of the cause of obesity and laying the foundation for what in time will, I believe, be new types of medical treatment. In 1903, the U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt wrote, "Far and away the best prize that life offers is the chance to work hard at work worth doing." The work of science is well worth doing. Advances in science and technology are a gift from each generation to the next, and I am proud to be part of this worldwide enterprise. Our science has now led us into studies of the brain circuitry controlling human behavior, a field that, as you also heard, begins with the path-breaking studies of Ramon y Cajal, whose extraordinary contributions provided the foundation for modern neuroscience. Ramon y Cajal also illustrates the links between art and science because, as you also heard, his drawings, which are here at the Cajal Institute, are absolute magnificent works of art that touch us on many different levels. I'm confident that investments of the sort that allowed Cajal to do his work and allowed the other distinguished laureates to do their work, that investments in work of this sort will continue to lead the way forward. As scientists, we are instruments of a wave of new knowledge that passes through us from the past and into the future. The wave of knowledge which my research and Doug's research is a part of began with the realization of the French chemist Lavoisier in the 18th century that living organisms are subject to the basic laws of physics and chemistry. The formulation of the first law of thermodynamics by Joule and Mayer. It further passes through Cajal to Hetherington and Ranson, two great neuroanatomists, Gordon Kennedy and Romain Hervey, two physiologists of the 20th century, and of course Doug Coleman, with whom I'm proud and pleased to share this award. This wave has coursed briefly through me into a future that I cannot clearly see, but which others undoubtedly can or will, and that someday hopefully will be recognized themselves. The culmination of the wave of which I was a part is the realization that molecules control feeding behavior and that obesity is not a failed personal choice. As I mentioned, it's my hope and expectation that this knowledge will lead to new treatments, but also to a greater sense of understanding for the obese. Finally, I'd say as a child, it would have been inconceivable to me then that I would ever have my name listed with the previous recipients or the people that I share the stage with today, and it really is an unexpected and deep honor. I look forward to seeing this award continue to flourish as future recipients make future discoveries and the wave of new knowledge moves forward. I thank you again for the great honor and for inviting me to visit your wonderful city. Thank you.